welcome to Integrity Talks. I'm Sharissa Bloomberg. I'm very excited to introduce to you today Leonard Watts. He's the MD of the Humanitarian Empowerment Fund, doing such great work in our communities during this time of coronavirus. So I thought it's actually crucial to invite him in as we take integrity to the communities and find out what he's been doing. So, welcome, Leonard.
Good afternoon, Carissa. Thank you so much for having me. Such a privilege and honor to be part of your program.
And we're excited to have you here. Please tell us how you got involved to be the MD of the Humanitarian Empowerment Fund and the amazing outreach programs that you're delivering. Tell us a bit more.
It all started in 2008, a group of guys that wanted to make a difference in the world. And we just started reaching out to communities in our personal capacity to enrich and to make sure that everybody understands there is another option to life. The cards that you were dealt with is not necessarily the path that your life has to take you down. And we just wanted to impact communities. But then in 2018, we realized that we need to formalize this in order to get the support from corporates. And we were registered as a PBO. And subsequently, we are able to issue 18A tax certificates. So any company that is looking to donate social responsibility funds can get their tax rebates as well.
Excellent. Tell me about some of the outreach programs that you've been doing. I mean, since 2008, that's incredible. But specifically now with the coronavirus, how did you get into action? What did you do?
What an unprecedented time we're living in at the moment. It has been so crazy, especially in the communities where a large number of the family members are dependent on casual work, be it gardening or working in factories and manufacturing. It's all very casual work, and that just put a stop to everything. So as a norm, in HEF, we are not a charitable organization because we believe in empowerment.
Yes.
Charity just creates dependency. So we believe the age-old adage of teaching somebody to fish.
Yes.
But through Corona and the shutdown of the country, we had to take a different approach. And we had to look at our donors and of our supporting partners. And we just supplied so many things to so many communities throughout this time, and that included food for weeks on end, blankets, beanies. We planted a lot of community vegetable gardens, which we're very excited about, because that is something that will continue being harvested and just getting everybody involved in there. And then just a holistic approach, and you will know that we have a love for animals as well, and that when we look after the people in the community as well as their needs, then we can reach the community as a whole and not just be somebody that drops off food.
Yes, because obviously it stands to reason, you know, so much has been done for people, which we commend, but if people are starving, so are their animals. And I know that you've done tremendous work for me. Thank you in terms of integrity for animals and delivering. So I thank you for that.
No problem at all. No problem at all. We need to look after everybody.
Yes. Leonard, you know that the show is about inspiring integrity, and that is the most misunderstood word, in my opinion, in the world. People love to throw that word around, but that when you ask them how do you apply it in your everyday life, really they're not sure. They just think about doing the right thing and what is the right thing to do. So Leonard, tell me, what is your view on what integrity means? How would you define it?
I think that, as you said, everybody understands the word integrity, that by definition, it's an honorable person that does things the right way. But for me, the challenge in integrity is to do it in a sustainable, long-term period. It's so easy to do the right things when things are going well. But it's when things are going tough and we have to make hard decisions. And you have to take decisions that might impact you negatively because you are doing it in integrity. That's when true integrity shines through, when you can put your own personal gains and personal positions to one side and look at a situation in entirety and make a decision based on that. So to me, it's something that needs to be sustainable. It's not something that can happen one day and be switched off the other day.
Yes.
So we need continuous growth in that.
Yes. Well said. And there isn't a better time during this global pandemic to look at integrity. So, Leonard, tell us about some specific ways that you have been able to maintain integrity in your Humanitarian Empowerment Fund. Have you tried to impart those skills, or how have you increased it?
Absolutely. What we do is we look for community leaders within the communities that have shown sustained integrity, because there's no ways we can provide food, provide shelter, provide schooling to a community where that's not going to go to the right and correct people. The families in need are the families that need to receive that. So first and foremost, we're looking for somebody that's shown over a period of time that they can be trusted and that they do the right thing for the community. And when we partner with them, we ensure that everything we do is you are able to view the product of the outreach. Anybody that donates money, they are able to go to the project, they are able to go to the community, and they can go and have a look at where their money goes to. Because there's nothing worse than the intended funds not going, or the intended help not going where it's needed to people that are so dependent on
Yes.
help at this stage.
Yes. And we know with all this corruption, people want to know where their donations and their funding has gone. So I think that's incredible.
Absolutely.
To show them that. Leonard, does any stories come to mind from, I know you've gone into the disadvantaged communities. Is there any story that stands out specifically recently where integrity and doing the right thing has touched the community and a leader has stood up, or anything that comes to mind you can share with us?
Oh, there's so many, but one that's very close to my heart is we are involved in various communities, and children are very close to our hearts because that's the future of our country.
Yes.
This is the lives we get to change before they form into a certain way or a certain lifestyle. And we were fortunate enough that King's School on the West Rand were able to, after visiting one of our sites and our projects, to spend time with these kids. And that kids from a township ends up getting the curriculum for private schooling. That is just unheard of, that we could provide children in a township, for lack of a better word, that they can have a place where they can go and have private schooling. It is unbelievable. So we have to take our hats off to people that actually do those type of things. That's just life-changing for anybody. And to me, that is saying I have something that I can give to somebody and I don't charge for that. That's integrity to me.
And there's no better feeling of that. We don't do that to make ourselves look better, but it's such an amazing feeling when you see something flourish, and specifically the school children. I mean, how amazing. I've heard some horrific stories where, they don't have data. And I heard one little child that has to climb to the top of a mountain to get a signal so that they can get online work. So incredible. Did you see those children's faces when this was launched and when it was put into action?
They are just in awe, because for them, and now they finally have an equal opportunity right where they are, right where they live, without having to go and travel kilometers to go to the school, without all of the other costs involved. They have an option and they have an opportunity that no other kids have in that area.
I love these feel-good stories because this coronavirus has brought out the best and the worst in people. And when you hear these feel-good stories, it just makes my heart warm. But I have to ask, because you and I are animal lovers. Well, specifically, tell me about something in the area where you've helped and assisted animals. And
sometimes the animals, as you mentioned, they are forgotten because we look after the communities. And as you rightly said, if a person doesn't have food to eat, then their pets most probably won't have anything to eat. And we forget that even somebody in need has an animal, a dog or a cat or whatever that pet might be, that they love as much as any other person does. And we are involved in Cape Town specifically. I'm very proud to be involved with a young lady that is in the community, and she goes around and she picks, Nasha, she picks up animals that are in distress and that are hungry and needs homes. and she completely and solely only relies on donations. So we are happy that we can drive around for her, we can pick up food for her, we can take it to her when there's kittens and puppies that needs to be rehomed. We take that around for her. But somebody like Nasha doesn't need much. She just needs support.
Yes.
And this is the thing. When all of us can just understand that there's somebody else out there that needs us.
Yes.
Not necessarily our money, not necessarily what we can give them, but they need our time and they need our compassion.
Yes.
And I've always maintained wherever we go, and this sounds a bit cheesy, but it's the truth. If we could leave the world a little bit better
Yes.
than what we found it,
Yes.
just around us, if everybody does that, it will have a major impact on the world. And we can't change everybody's lives, but we can change those around us.
I love that you're just talking my language. And I know Nash, and she just walks through, it's Mitchell's Plain, and just walks through in one of the most hardest hitting, devastating places and sees the most horrific abuse, and sometimes just wants to offload and just to be debriefed of the horrors of what she sees. So Leonard, in ending off, is there any specific, well, I know there are lots, any specific, what can I call it, outreach you're dealing with at the moment? Or quite a few, in fact, I'm sure. But what is coming up for you?
The pressing urge that we have, specifically in Cape Town, is we have a community leader that looks after her community so well. She takes everybody in. The sick, the ill, the forgotten, she takes in and she looks after them. And we actually created a massive community garden for them, where they have wind tunnels and everything to grow their vegetables. But unfortunately, the water is a very, very poor quality. So we have a very pressing need for a filtration system at this stage, so that we can grow the vegetables, but also it be safe for the people consuming it. So that's something that's very close to my heart at the moment, because winter is coming up, and if we can grow any vegetables, it feeds so many more people. And so thank you for asking. That's the most pressing matter that we have currently. But we are all over the country, and Gauteng, Northwest Province, Cape Town, and any assistance and any help is always appreciated.
And that's amazing. You've left your footprint all over the country, really, and growing. If someone feels they want to get involved, no matter how small, on what level, on the water or donations or food, where can they get in touch with you?
They are welcome to email me on leonard@hepfund.org. And if they are in contact with you, you are welcome to give them my cell number as well.
Thank you, I will. And they can also find you on Humanitarian Empowerment Fund. I think you're on all media, on the website.
Yes, that's correct. All you have to do, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, just search Humanitarian Empowerment Fund and you'll find us there.
Leonard, thank you so much. I know I'll be seeing you and your lovely wife soon, as we give another donation to Nasha soon. So I'm so thrilled, because I couldn't have gone there myself. I really wanted to highlight the amazing work that you're doing. And I want to wish you the best of luck going forward. Really, good luck to everyone involved. And I salute your whole team, because I know you don't do this alone. So well done to everyone.
Thank you so much. And thank you for this opportunity and this platform, and all the best for you and everything that you do.
Thank you so much, and it's been an absolute honor talking to you. All the best.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.